What's good, everybody? Welcome into the Early Edge, your daily sports betting brand of record. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting. It's not even close. I, of course, am the coach, your fearless leader. And boy, do we have a lot of content going on right now. Quickly, let's look at what we did on Tuesday. Today is Wednesday. Yes, on Tuesday. Regular show, not great. However, we do hit the AB3 plus 254, so that brought the number back up very nicely. Then our Champions League only episode. What a win by Liverpool yesterday. My goodness, that was a great check mark there by the great Martin W. Green. And then we have a new little thing we call Early Edge in 5. It's a 5-minute podcast in the afternoon. Turn on your notifications so you know the second that we will have it in your feed. Now, today, we'll be doing it again at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, the Kentucky Derby preview. You asked for it, you got it. And also, Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, our MMA-only episode. We got separate episodes for everything. But this is about this show right here and right now. Let's bring in the stars of the show. And you know, on a Bounce Back Wednesday, I'm bringing it all. Wait a second. Now, first and foremost, live from just south of London, England, the guru, Martin W. Green. However, what is that you're wearing today, sir?
I'm finally officially part of the team, Coach. I've got my Early Edge t-shirt. Our man Alan sent me, well, he was supposed to send me 1 or 2 t-shirts, but he sent about 60 boxes. I think the poor delivery guy had a hernia trying to bring them all in. And I've got my whole family are just drowning in boxes down there. I think he's turning us into like the European distribution hub of Early Edge merchandise. But very, very, very grateful to him for hooking me up.
I would be too. Instead, I have to wear my own t-shirts because here in the States, apparently AB can't find our addresses. So better he can find yours in London. I'll handle AB in a second. What in the wide world of sports? Live from Las Vegas. We call him Zack Attack. You call him Zack. Zack Cimini. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone. On this show, I like to just keep a small focus on what I'm going to focus on for my picks on the show. I did college basketball for a good stretch. Now I'm going to do NBA. MLB will be soon, but I'm going to focus on NBA for the show. 2 great games yesterday. As far as the Celtics, as I was on the Celtics, I smelled that one from a mile away. I was glad to see that big blowout. And then the Grizzlies, how many times are they going to play with fire? But they just know how to close in those final 5 minutes, and they did it once again yesterday, Coach.
I will take this one on the chin because the show yesterday wanted to play the Celtics, and I talked the show out of the Celtics. So I'll take I will take that one on the chin. Maestro, that was kind of fun yesterday doing a little 5-minute NBA in the afternoon. You down for it?
Yeah, I'm down to run it back this afternoon. And yeah, the NBA game, the late game was incredible. But I think the most amazing thing that happened last night, I really feel for Rangers fans and Rangers bettors. They thought they had the game won against the Penguins, a very questionable goalie interference call. Then it goes to 3 overtimes. They hit the post multiple times. The Penguins take it away. The Rangers goalie had 79 saves in a losing effort. Unbelievable stuff.
I would be one of those bettors that you were talking about. Ooh. Yeah, that one hurt. And we had him for the show yesterday as well. But you know what? What does the Maestro always say? That was yesterday. We've got to get on to the next. So let's get into it. Storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And I tell you what, Maestro, the fans ask for it. You speak, we listen. Kentucky Derby this Saturday. I'm fired up for it. What do you got?
Yeah, well, we have that special show that you're going to air, but I want to direct people to the site. If you go to the top of SportsLine, you'll see a big sign that says Kentucky Derby. Just click on that, and what do you get? You get Michelle Yu, who had the winner last year, 12-1. You get Bob Weir. This guy works for the Bayer Speed Racing. He's an insider, works at a track. You've got Hammer and Hank's pick. You've also got Jody Demling, who's hit 9 Kentucky Oaks Derby doubles. So a ton of content. It's a wide open Derby. I don't know a ton about horse racing, but I know that there's a lot of excitement for this race because it's a real chance for some long shots to come in. Only 3 horses less than 10-1.
Michelle and Jane, they will be the talent with me on said Kentucky Derby show today. I'm fired up for that one. I'm also fired up for more NBA playoffs tonight. They have been absolutely fantastic. A lot of people believe, Zach, that Phoenix is going to be the team to come out of the West, but can they get it done? If they do get it done, it's going to be because of the man who runs the show. What do you got?
Yeah, Chris Paul turning 37 this week. I'm going to go over just his playoff assist stats so far, Coach. Starting with, hold on just a second here. I had it pulled up. There it is again. 10, 14, 14, 11, 11, 8. So guess what he had in game one? How many assists did he have?
2.
3. 3 assists. That's a big outlier. That is very key. I wanted to spotlight it in this storyline because that's the lowest assist amounts he's had, not just for the postseason, obviously, but the entire season. You want to trace back to the last time he had less assists. It was 1 assist March of last year. So that's very odd for him. His assist prop tonight is way back up again, 9.5. And what we saw from the Phoenix Suns, they just relied on him for his scoring. Everyone was scoring for the Suns, a lot of easy drives to the basket. He did not need to pass the ball because Dallas is just playing that matador defense. They did turn it up. We heard Reggie Miller say it in those final 7 minutes. We'll see if Dallas brings that type of defense to start. I don't think so because that's not who they are. But keying on those Chris Paul assists, I am going to have a different player prop for my main pick here shortly.
Oh, and I can't wait for that. I've got my sports book open right now. But before we get there, we've got one more big-time storyline today. And Martin W. Green, I apologize for making you wait this long for your storyline because I know you're bursting at the seams. You're filling in for Buckets this morning. By the way, shout out to Buckets. Very sick. The man is down for the count. But the guru steps in this morning. So Martin W. Green, day 2 of the Champions League. What do you got?
Yeah, Buckets is actually bent over a bucket right now being sipped into it, I believe, because not a good time in the Buckets household, apparently, but you're stuck with me instead. So in honor of our good friend Buckets, I'm going to come up with a storyline that relates to one of his picks, actually. He is on Karim Benzema to score any time in this game. And he is just having a terrific season. 47 goals in 49 games for club and country so far this year. 9 goals in his last 4 Champions League games. He's now the heavy favourite to win the Ballon d'Or. And you can get plus money at certain sports books on Benzema to score any time in this game, which does look really appealing because he is just the sort of player that can produce a moment of magic out of nothing and get on the score sheet with just half a chance. So he's going to be a real thorn in Manchester City's side. He's the real player that they're going to have to look to see if they can turn around a 1-goal deficit in this Champions League semi-final. The first game was absolutely terrific, wasn't it? I'm sure you all watched it. Finished 4-3 to Manchester City. Loads of chances at both ends. Benzema played a starring role, but Man City were on fire too. Can't wait for tonight's second leg. It's going to be another epic clash between 2 great teams on CBS. Can't wait to watch it.
Big Cheesy 707 says, LOL, this dude is funny. You know what? We think Martin W. Green is funny as well. I love that storyline. Buckets gets better. All right, now we're going to get to our storyline, our boards. But before we do that, we're so big now. We've got commercials in the show. Time for a little break here on the Early Edge. And we are back. See how quickly that happens? All right, let's get into our board for the night. 3 big plays from SportsLine. And if you're not a SportsLine member, what in the world are you doing? Now, I know some of you will write in the chat, you lost 1 day in a row or 2 days in a row. It's about the big picture. And the big picture is storylines, simulations, analysis, all of that you get for one very, very small price at SportsLine. You spend more at Starbucks every single morning. So let's do it together. Let's be positive. And let's remember, you don't win every single bet. Stop thinking that. Nobody does. All right, 3 big plays today. We're going to go to the NBA, the Heat minus the 8. Without Joel Embiid, the Sixers are sitting ducks. They're not going to stay for 48 minutes. We'll lay the 8 again. The Heat are 59% against the spread after a day off. Mavericks and Suns. This one scares me a little bit. But after yesterday, and burying the show with the Celtics not pick, I'm not doing it again today. No. We're going to go Mavericks plus the 6. The Suns were literally perfect in game 1 and only won by 7. They were perfect. They're not going to do that today. Dallas in our simulations covers in 60% of the time. We'll take the Mavericks and the points. And then one play from the NHL, the Toronto Maple Leafs minus 130. They won game 1 5-0. They are just simply the better team. And we're only laying 30 cents, I'm here for it. All right, now, we've got a Champions League game that starts at 3 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. I cannot wait. 4-3 in game one. As Martin said, today's going to be another banger. But how are we betting it? Martin, you're up first.
It's going to be a banger, coach. I mean, you have to go for both teams to score an over 2.5 goals, don't you, really?
Yes.
If that didn't come in, it would be the biggest letdown ever. I mean, that was such open, end-to-end action in the first leg. Man City scored 4, but they could have scored 8. Riyad Mahrez hit the post. They missed 3 great chances. They were missing from 8 yards out. If they're more clinical, they could easily score 4 goals again in this game. But Real Madrid, you can never count them out. They always find a way to get that moment of magic out of nothing, like Benzema did. He only needs half a chance to score. Vinicius Jr. is also really dangerous. So I'm expecting another open and entertaining game. Real Madrid are really going to have to be the aggressor in this one. They're going to have to take risks. They're going to have to commit men forward. They can't just sit back and soak up pressure, because if they don't score, they're out. That's the nature of a second leg game. So it's going to be very exciting. Man City does have a couple of injury problems in defence, but Joao Cancelo is back to play at right back, which could thwart Vinicius Jr. to a certain extent. There's going to be just loads of fascinating battles all over the pitch. World-class players everywhere you look. You won't be able to take your eyes off it. But I'm going for both teams to score an over 2.5 goals. Just have to. I do quite like Buckets' anytime goal scorer on Benzema. But I'm also going for a little bet on Man City just to win the game. They were plus 110 when we did our Champions League show earlier in the week. You can now find plus 115 on Man City. A little bit risky, because a draw would be enough to see them through to the next round, to the final. But I do think they can win it. I mean, they should have won by a heavier margin in the first leg. If they play like that again, and we saw the way that Chelsea played at the Bernabeu in the quarterfinals, if Man City displayed that sort of ambition and they're more clinical in front of goal, I can see them winning it. So I'm going for Man City to win at plus 110, plus 115, whatever your sportsbook's offering. Looks like a great price to me.
Oh, it looks like a great price to me. I apologize, Martin. I was a little distracted because apparently in the chat, I talk about the bosses all the time. Apparently, we know how valuable you are, because look who came back today to tell you how good you looked in your new Early Edge shirts. Noah. Yeah, look who shows back up. And then Chad says, hey, Noah, good to have you back. Oh, thanks for holding it down for me, Chad. Oh, you're welcome, Noah. Stop. Just stop. Martin Green. We know how valuable you are. I don't need the bosses to come in and tell you that. All right. Now, I can't wait for the Champions League today. Fired up. But I'm also fired up for the big-time NBA game tonight. Zack Cimini, you're up next.
We're going to go with player prop here. Just what I mentioned in the storyline, Chris Paul, but with his scoring over 16.5 points, you have to shop around here on the juice, but at DK, it is minus 125. And we saw how fluid the Suns scored in game one. And guess what? They needed all those points towards the end. Dallas went on a nice run, made it a little bit close, especially from an ATS standpoint, but the Suns did cash. And I think Chris Paul recognizes that his scoring is more valuable in this series than his assist and facilitation ability. So he's going to be a scoring machine. What we've seen throughout this postseason, his scoring average is up. He's had a lot of big games, and he's a flurry scorer. You recognize this in the first quarters. He's going to have 3 to 4 baskets. He's going to go quiet, and he just saves that energy. And in the fourth quarter, he turns it up again. He's probably one of the top postseason scorers in the fourth quarter. He's averaging over 9 points in the fourth quarter. He had a couple of 19-point outbursts. He had 7 points in the fourth quarter in game one, and it's always flurry baskets. Once he gets one in, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. And that's the veteran ability of Chris Paul. And you just mentioned we like Dallas Mavericks with the SportsLine pick +6. If that's going to happen, it's going to need to be a high-scoring game if Dallas is going to hang in this one. You could see a game in the 120 range, maybe even the 130 range. So that could be a lot of players, not just Chris Paul, going over their number. But for this show, Chris Paul over 16.5 points.
And I would encourage all of you to get this play in the second that it hits your sports book, because we know for a fact people watch this show and the numbers change the second Zach gives it out. Yesterday, Prop Stars, 3 props. Within 5 minutes, they all went up a full point. Facts. Absolute facts. All right. So apparently Buckets isn't too sick. Martin looking clean in the merch. Thank you for subbing in. So you are healthy enough to type in the chat, but not healthy enough to come on the show. Okay. Putting that right in the old memory bank right there. Okay. Now, a lot of you, I guess, forget when somebody wins like 16 out of 19 days because the run was so hot for me. I lose 2 days in a row, and all of a sudden everybody wants to jump off the bandwagon. This is the long game. This is the long game, everybody, and today we're going right back at it. A little juicy, though, minus 143. Why? Because I'm going to go Guardians on the run line plus the 1.5. You're going to give me an afternoon game, 1:10 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be dead, absolutely emotionless. So we'll take that emotion, and we'll put it into the run line at home. I love run lines at home, minus 143. All right, so Martin is gone. Zach is gone. Who in the chat? We have a new person in the chat. Bo Dunn. What's the name? He says, I love this show. Oh, I lost it because Chad and Noah are texting so much. I can't get to the real fans of the show. Thank you. Love the show. Bo Dunn wins. Bo Dunn, we want you to win every single time. We hope that you do. But Bo Dunn, I want you to watch right now what we do here. It's the last spot on the show. It's coveted. He's our OG. He's our heartbeat. Maestro, you're up.
All right, going to an early start with the Diamondbacks visiting the Marlins. They basically played the same game the first 2 games of the series. Arizona gets up 5-0. The bullpen almost blows it. They hold on for a 5-4 win. And what's interesting is that the Diamondbacks are the best team in baseball in the first 5 innings, 17-8 thus far this season. The Marlins sitting right around 500 in terms of their first 5. Love the pitching matchup with Mad Bum. He has really turned it on. Last 10 innings, 2 starts, 10 innings, 1 run, 1 walk. He's pitching well. His ERA 1.17. And you look at Hernandez for the Marlins, the ERA over 5. David Peralta loves to hit him. I'm praying that he is in the lineup today, 3 for 5 with a homer and a double against Hernandez. I'm going to take the Diamondbacks plus a half a run. First 5 innings, I got it at minus 124 last night.
And that game starts at 12:40 p.m. Eastern time, afternoon baseball. That's what we're here for. We absolutely love that. But get that play in because it's going to start very, very soon. One more thing to handle before we get out of here. Jake in the chat says, Coach for president. Well, I agree. But apparently here on this show, Jake, at this brand, there's only one man who runs it, and it's not me. AB, show your face.
What up?
What up? I'm thinking, what up? So apparently you're sending boxes upon boxes to Europe. Apparently you're allowing Buckets to type to everybody and then kiss up to Noah in the chat because you didn't block him and stop him from doing that. What are you doing today, AB?
Yeah. So first off, Buckets. That's not a good look, buddy. If you're sick, man. You got to show up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm with the coach on that one. 2 things here really quickly. First, I cannot wait for the Kentucky Derby show today because if anybody out there likes parlays, if you're playing exactas, superfectas, that is like a parlay on frankincense and myrrh. It's phenomenal. It's the best sweat ever. And your Chick-fil-A nugget of the day. If the Maestro comes through on his pick, that is 9 straight.
Boom. How about that? Bo Dunn, that's how you ruin a flow right there. Bo Dunn, that's how you do it.
Have a great show.
My man. That would be my new favorite name on the show. Bo Dunn wins. Damn it. Somebody get better than that because I don't think it exists. That is freaking awesome. Bo Dunn wins. Let's go. All right. We're up against it. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of AB on the 1s and the 2s. And it looks absolutely glorious. Maestro, again, 12:40 p.m. Eastern time on the Diamondbacks for 5, plus the half. Then Martin W. Green, the guru, filling in for apparently a very healthy Buckets. Real Madrid, Man City, both teams to score and over 2.5, minus 140. Then Man City plus 115. Then Zack Attack, 1 player prop. Get it in when it hits your book. Chris Paul over 6. This is going to close at 17.5. I promise you that. Get it in at 16.5. Then I'm getting back on the train today. Guardians at home plus 1.5. Only minus 140. Minus 140. Let's go. 3 plays from the site. SportsLine bounces back today, too. Heat minus the 8. Mavericks plus the 6. Maple Leafs on the money line. Then the AB today. AB3 hit yesterday. We're going to go plus 298. Heat, Hurricanes, and the Maple Leafs. Oh, boy, that was a lot to get into 20 minutes, but we managed to do it. So there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, I love them all. the guru, Martin W. Green, for stepping in from 5 hours across the pond. He can get on time today. Appreciate him. The maestro, Zach Attack, AB on the ones and the twos, and, of course, the man who's becoming the MVP, our man Buckets. Get better, Buckets. We'll see you. I don't know when we'll see you again on the early edge. Good luck.